Hi there folks, my name is Jon. This is Mustache and Minis, and I would just like to inform you that Combat Patrol World Eaters is out. Now I've been waiting for this box for a little while, because there is a lot of stuff in it. A lot more stuff than I would often think was in some of these boxes. Now we have 20 Berserkers, 10 Jackals, and the Lord Invocatus on a mount, which is quite a hefty force to begin with. Now I'm gonna just assemble the Lord Invocatus this time and talk about what I like to do when I am assembling models. There's nothing really too fancy going on, because I have been quite busy of late. I have a lot going on in my personal life, none of it bad, all of it good, but there is a lot of it. Therefore, this video is quite late, and the next video might sadly be even later. But let's just take a look at all the plasticky goodness in this box, and especially the Lord Invocatus. Now, the box contains both the option to build a Lord Invocatus, or a more mundane, if you can call it that, Chaos Lord on Juggernaut. I myself am going for the Lord Invocatus, but I am seriously contemplating getting another box to have even more Berserkers and both variants of this interesting figure. Now, when I am assembling models, I like to finish off one page at a time, so I clip all the bits needed for the model that are on page 1, and then start cleaning them up before gluing. Using both a scrape or a hobby knife, a very flexible paper sanding stick thing, and the clippers for bigger chunks, I work through all the bits until they are quite smooth and look about correct. There are a few mold lines here and there, but all in all, this is quite good casting, and they are not too bad or large. A quick brush over with the sanding stick, and poof, they're gone. Some bits might get a little extra touch-up once the bits are glued together, as I like to drop the tiniest drop of plastic glue here and there if I see something afterwards that doesn't quite look right or as good as I would have hoped. The plastic glue actually melts the plastic, so it becomes a bit smoother, and also can help out, especially with the big seam that runs down the length of the dreaded Juggernaut, where the two halves of the body meet. If the crack is too wide, you can always fix it up with some sprue glue, which is just plastic sprue bits dissolved in some plastic glue, because, like I said, the plastic glue melts plastic. Just the head left now, and that's not overly too complicated a thing, and then this mount is fully assembled. By the looks of it, the only pieces that I would need to create the mount for the regular mounted lord, or at least his mount at this point, is just the first two pieces. The actual body of the other bits are different between the two mounts. Makes one think that it could have been so simpler just to have two bodies in the set. But then I would not need to buy another box altogether. However, now I am contemplating kit-bashing another body, or sculpting one from green stuff for milliput to save a fair few bucks. That, or using the extra bits for maybe a corn-themed Chaos Knight's war dog to ally in. Now to build the Lord Invocatus himself, and I'm hoping that he can be built separately, so to make the painting a lot easier. Also, that maybe he does not use any parts of the other Chaos Lord, because then it will just confirm my belief that just 2 extra bits in the set, and we would have a whole other HQ unit in the box. Same steps as before. I find all the bits on the page, snip them out, clean them up, and glue them together. There are a few bits here, very small and very detailed, so I clip further from the part and remove the excess sprue part once it is off the sprue. It is just better to do it this way than accidentally breaking something off the mini or clipping into the actual guy. Now the moment I have been dreading. Do I need to put him on the mount to paint him, or can I have it in sub-assemblies? First glance says I must fasten him to his mount, due to the spike that he actually stands on are part of his feet and protrude from the tiny holes inside of the mount. But of course, I could snip them a bit and keep one leg off him or something like that. But you know what? It is still pretty open around the guy, even though he is on the mount. So I'm just going to plop him on his beastie, and future Jon will have to deal with that later on. Now just the upper torso and the same method as before, but getting the long flowy hair to stay correct on top of the helmet was a pain in my opinion. But all's well that ends well. Just a little bit that I feel my entire World Eater's force will have in abundance. And that is of course a bunch of skulls. So a bit of glue and randomly place some bony effigies here and there. Now I have only assembled the guy, and not much more. I put a little bit of the texture paste I usually use on my models on the bottom, and this will give it some extra flair and extra ground when I start painting him. Now only to assemble the other 30 guys from the box, but they are berserkers and jackals, and I'm guessing they will be a little bit easier to assemble. But what do I know? I might even end up with an extra war dog at the end of this. Who the hell knows at this point? Not me, because I still have them on the sprue, in the box, and who knows where inspiration might take me. Now, how to paint them? That's a completely different story, and like I said, a headache for future Jon. But I'm thinking about maybe doing the YouTuber thing and doing a 24-hour painting marathon where I paint the entire Combat Patrol box. Would be an interesting challenge. Biggest challenge of that would be to find 24 hours of uninterrupted painting time. But until then, I have this model to stare at. I have 30 models to put together, and I have one little extra thing that I would like to show to you guys, which will be a future video on a grand scale. Now, a few weeks ago, a guy here in Iceland was selling some of his old Warhammer stuff, terrain and scenery and stuff like that. And I saw a box there, a lovely box, a big box, a full to the brim box. It's 25 years old by my reckoning, and according to the actual box, because it says the manufacturer date on it. And it's huge, and it's full of plastic, and I am dreading painting it, and also looking forward to it. But it is this. Now the box doesn't look too great. It's a little bit worse for wear, it's a little bit punch-drunk, but everything in here is unpainted, and, well, not really that much assembled. So we're gonna have a great old time painting and modifying and figuring out how to make this hefty little model here look as impressive as it can be. But that's for the future. Also for the future, like I said, this World Eater's Combat Patrol. By all means, let me know if you would like to see me do this 24-hour painting marathon thing. I'm kind of interested to try it out, and I'm kind of dreading it. That seems like a lot of time to paint minis. A lot of time. Because I haven't spent 27 years painting minis at this point anyway. So what's one more day? Anyway, that's it for this little video of mine today. By all means, check out the links in the description as per usual. Liking, sharing, subscribing, bell, you know this stuff. I have a Patreon. I would love to see more of you folks there. If not, it's your call. But for now, farewell.